Good morning and welcome to this James the Bike Guy, where you join me on a brisk morning in Massachusetts. And today our video is going to be a bit different than normal. We're going on a travel vlog together. My work has brought me out to Deer Valley, Utah, and really cool, I've been able to hook up with a couple of group rides where in this video I'm going to test out some full suspension mountain bikes from Giant, also get a chance to do a gravel ride through Colville, Utah, and then of course slay it on a couple of EMTBs. So go ahead and join me with this video as we take off from Boston Logan Airport, headed towards Salt Lake City, Utah. After landing in Salt Lake City, Utah, it's time to grab my rental car, a Toyota 4Runner, to make the drive out towards Salt Lake City, Utah, and eventually Deer Valley. I was struck by just how beautiful it was out here. I've never been out to Utah before, and it was gorgeous to see all the mountains and just the whole topography out in Utah. And on my way out to Deer Valley, I stopped at a couple of bike shops to see just how they do it a little bit different. Some pretty cool shops out here for sure, but nothing's going to be quite as fun as the mountain bike riding to the top of Bear Peak on a giant trance I'm going to have tomorrow. By the end of my workday, it was getting late and I was really itching to ride. I had been seeing bikes go up Bear Mountain and I really wanted to be pedaling on one of them. So I went across the street and I borrowed from the Giant demo a Giant Trance X. This is their longer travel 29er all mountain trail bike, and it was sweet. The ride started off with a climb of almost 1,000 feet in about 3 miles to the top of Bear Peak. This is quite the climb to get up, but we're getting to the top here and sure gonna be fun. I was really surprised at how well this bike pedaled and how well I held up, even though the crazy elevation out here in Utah. As an East Coast boy, this elevation was insane and definitely needed a little extra work on the lungs. By the time I was to the top, the day had really run through, so there was only one chance for a run down, and it just flew. Let me hush up and check out how the bike did. Whoa, deer. By the time I got to the bottom of the mountain, I was having such a blast. I hadn't really cleared anything, but I was still working off the wind that it took to get up to the top of the hill, as well as it was my first pass down. I really wish there was more time, but I had to return the bike, but that's okay. On day 3, I'll get to go up again on an e-bike and have some real fun. Good morning. I bet you can hardly even see me, but it's just about 5:45 in the morning here in Deer Valley, about to hop on a shuttle to be able to go out to Colville for an awesome gravel ride. Hoping to take you with me. Don't know how much we'll get to see, but let's have fun together and go for a ride. I'll tell you, this ride was exactly what I was looking forward to, and in fact it was the only ride that I knew I was going to be able to get to participate when I came out here, so it's what I was prepared for. And it was dark, cold, and oh man, I was excited. Big group, great ride. Now, as the ride got started, it was super fun. This is the first time I've really gotten a chance to ride true Midwestern gravel roads. You know, out of New England, we have mountain bike trails that you ride a gravel bike on, but I can really see where these things come into place. I'm rolling on a giant Revolt Advanced Di2. This thing's a sweet bike. And the whole ride is going really well. The scenery is amazing. And, you know, as I got about halfway into this 24-mile ride, it really started to have the pain set in. I started getting a little less excited and a little more driven into making sure I got finished. They told me this ride would only have a 3% grade in it. What they didn't say is that would go on for about 6 miles. That put some hurting in, especially since Colville is still at 5,500 feet of elevation. Super high, not quite as high as the mountain. But otherwise, this ride was gorgeous. The bike rode really well, and I had an absolute blast bringing the bike back in to the end of the road, and I ended up having a blast. You know, this type of gravel ride was so exciting. It's something I would do anytime somebody offered it to me. It was really fun to ride through and end up back in Park City. Well, let me just start off by saying, boy, am I glad I saved this for last. This was just, whew, what a treat. I am a convert, if I wasn't already, to EMTBs. I'm out on this giant Trance E Pro 1, which is a pretty swanky build of a full power e-bike, and it is just a shuttle master. All right, full power on this e-bike. Holy smokes, is it powerful. Yesterday when I was going up this hill on an analog bike, I was huffing and puffing. Yeah. If you're in a spot where you need a bike to be able to drag you to the top so you can do some runs down, this is the way to go. It just felt amazing. Now, it took me about 40 minutes when I rode the analog bike to get to the top of Bear Mountain here, and on the EMTB, well less than half of that, which is just, boom, mind-blowing. Now, not only did it get me to the top of where the trails are, I actually summited with this bike, which would have put me over 9,900 feet. And my lungs alone, my legs alone, the EMTB definitely helped me make it happen. Up there, the views were just gorgeous looking around. What a treat. And even better, that was just my first ride up. I was able to do several runs up and down, ended up getting about 14 miles, if I remember correctly, of riding on this thing. Now descending, it's like an absolute, just missile. It's so stable because of the extra weight with some of the geometry changes they have on it. It just flew going down. Now I did get put to shame by one of the giant pros that happened to be there. He was riding his short travel XC race bike and just getting away from me going downhill. Now I'm a decent descender, but nothing like a pro, of course. And he had this great comment when we were down at the bottom chatting afterwards. He said, jumps are for show and turns are for dough. And that man could just go into one of these bank turns and just put bike lengths on you. Yeah, so this was such a great way to end out my trip here up in Utah. Riding this EMTB is just a blast. I know some of you are not converts, but boy, it got a place. It's got a place in my mind too. Well, anyways, this was such a great adventure. I really hope you had a great time seeing the 3 different major rides I got to do. I'm so blessed to have been out there and be able to find the time to ride a bike while I was out there. If you ever get a chance to travel, I really hope you do too. And if you have traveled and ridden bikes, let me know it down in the comments below. Where'd you go? What'd you have fun? Where would you love to go? Any of that stuff. And so don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and let's go for a ride again sometime here soon.